So for tonight's video, I want to share with you a project that we had going on at work, which I worked very hard on this project along with my fellow coworkers, and very proud of how it came out. So this is what I believe to be a 2005 Oshkosh truck. It's retrofitted with wing plow. It has a front plow, and it used to have an all-steel U-shaped salter body on the back. It was a dump body. It had a conveyor chain going down the center of the body, and the body was basically rotting away, and it was no longer safe for the truck. So we removed the body, removed the lift cylinder, and this video is basically gonna show some clips of retrofitting the truck with another body we had, which this is gonna be a V body, stainless steel, so it's not gonna rust away, and it is no longer a dump body. So this was a fun project. Again, I had a lot of fun with the guys putting this truck back together, and enjoy the video. Okay, so here we're looking at the stainless steel V salter body that's going to be going on this truck, which if you look at the ground, you'll see it in a second. We had to cut off calcium tanks that were affixed to this body on either side, and we also had to torch off some mud flaps. There are pre-existing tanks and mud flips on the truck, and those are the ones we decided to use and go with. So here's a look at the truck's frame, and you can see where we cut away the dump body portion of the frame, and we had to make some room for the channels on this new salter body to fit on this frame. By no means am I an artist, but if I see something, I have a pretty good eye at drawing it by hand. So basically I wanted to just do a basic set of drawings of this salter body, and I wanted to add dimensions. That way I could go over to the truck and just be sure that this body would fit it properly. So I was pretty proud of this piece of artwork here. I think it turned out pretty well, and of course I had to sign it because a good artist always signs his work. Alright, so this was the first attempt at putting this new body on this truck, which we had a loader and it was chained up to the loader. We were able to get the front channels of the body locked into the middle or forward portion of the truck frame. We had a bit of an issue getting the salter body channel to sit on the frame in the back. So if you look closely, you can see the C channels of the salter body, and they're offset from the frame to the left by about 6 inches. So we ended up putting our heads together, and we came to the determination that the best way to move the body over in the back would be to take the forklift extension arms, lift up the body, and just shift it over, which it worked out quite well. So unfortunately, after spending all this time getting the C channel of the salter body lined up and sat down properly on the truck's frame, it was only then we realized that we had some clearance issues with the C channel, so we had to take off the salter body completely. We had to do some torching and make some more room for the C channels of that salter body, and then we were able to put it back down on the frame. And this is after we put the body back on the truck for the second time, and we needed to slide the body forward a little bit, so we just took the forklift, found a substantial part of the salter body to push on, and we just pushed it forward, and it worked out quite well. So here's a picture of what the truck looks like with the new salter body, or newer salter body, firmly planted on the truck frame. And if you ask me, that is a pretty mean looking truck. Thing looks awesome. So the next thing that had to be done was holes had to be drilled through the body into the frame, and then we bolted that up, and then the hydraulic lines had to be run, which we had the option of running the hydraulic valve body is in the middle of the truck where that white thing on the side of the truck is. So we had the option to either run soft lines to the rear of the truck, because that's where the hydraulic auger motor and spinner motor are, but we elected to run galvanized steel pipe down along the body, which there were pre-existing galvanized lines, but they were rotted out, so they had to be replaced. So I'm sure some of you are asking, why galvanized steel pipe? Why didn't you just run the rubber? Well, the rubber hose, if the reason we didn't run it is because we were kind of concerned that it may rub somewhere and eventually puncture and get a hole. Steel pipe, galvanized steel pipe specifically, is more ideal because you can just U-bolt it onto the salter body and then it'll be fine for quite some time, which I was really surprised that the galvanized steel pipe on the body had rotted away. But you need to be careful on what materials and fasteners you use when you're dealing with snowplow trucks, because salt is very corrosive and it gets everywhere. I can't tell you how many times I've tried to remove a rusted bolt that was not a galvanized bolt or stainless, and I ended up just having to torch it out. So ideally, you want to try and use stainless or galvanized hardware wherever possible. So this is a picture of the wing. I'm just kind of using this as a buffer clip here. The lower wing brace had broke off, so that's something also we had to repair, but I'm not going to include anything further in this video. But yeah, so now it's time to turn on the hydraulics and see if everything works.
Rust has got to get out of there.
I'm just guessing here, but I'm pretty sure this body hadn't been used in a couple years and it sat outside for a while. And of course, when it came off the truck and it was stored away, the conveyor chain links were never greased up. So we had a good bit of rust work off this conveyor chain, and it took a lot of WD-40, but we got our turn. So as you can see from that last clip, we had that conveyor chain turning quite effortlessly towards the end of the project here. The calcium still works on the truck. The spinner works just fine, so I call this a job well done. We had a small salting event today, actually, and this was the first time that this new body was really put to the test, and everything worked out well, so really happy at how it turned out. It was fun working with coworkers and, coming together as a team and really bringing this truck back to life. So that's all I have for today's video. If you guys enjoyed this video, as always, I'd appreciate a thumbs up and subscribe for more.